advertise the stream. Okay, we got Naveen in here too. So, as far as predictions, I think I've said before that I think you guys are undervaluing the Liger team. I think that they're going to win this. I think rezacz and was it zdybu are both very good players, but I think they're probably rustier than the Kingswitchers.
Oh, okay, that would make sense. Because people were saying that rezacz is probably about 2,700 plus, and Kingswitcher is probably like 2,600. So I don't know.
Yeah, for sure, rezacz would be better than Kingswitcher if they were both in practice.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense.
I mean, I could end up being totally wrong. We'll see. This is just a prediction, but
Yeah.
I'm just going on rustiness. Okay, we have the start of the match. Okay, that was aborted. Oh, because it was 3 minutes and it needs to be 2 minutes.
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
Hello.
So we've got Raven, we've got Crimson Vortex, and we've got Naveen all in the call with me. They aborted a game because they want to make sure they're playing 2 minutes, which is the time control for the open. Oh, I like clicked something and
yet?
bad stuff happened. Okay. I was just like clicking it in the chat window, and like it was like Clockingswitcher resigns. I clicked on resigns, and it switched me to a window that explained what resignation was.
I don't know why I find laggers.
I mean, honestly,
so
that's kind of like it's a good idea for me because like I never resign, so I might not know what it means, but in general, I would prefer if that not happened.
Yeah. So fun fact. I mean, like I'll say it for him because he's too much to say it for himself. But Clockingswitcher has actually never lost a single game in his entire life. That's actually the first time it's ever happened, even though that game didn't actually count. So
yeah, and we're gonna have to remember that because right now the 1-0 for rezacz is not a real 1-0. Ooh, ReturnoftheLagger did not move his king's bishop. I think he's gonna be punished here.
He actually looks okay here. Like I don't know what hurts us other than a queen, really. Oh, why do we pre-move that?
That's a great question. We pre-moved that because he thought that he was going to play pawn at f2. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of pre-moves in this series. Because these guys pre-move a lot.
Yeah, like I would go bishop e3 and then queen e2 and just ask my partner to hold knight.
Yeah, like, no, I like the idea of queen e2 for sure. He's being more aggressive though, so that he's attacking and defending at the same time. He's going for f6.
Yeah, Kingswitcher is doing very well on his board though. Looks like he's won some stuff, although now rezacz is in.
Yeah, rezacz lacks diagonals though. Those rooks actually don't do much for him at the present moment. That was adventurous going back rather than blocking, but he can afford that because he's up time. Swolf19, yeah. Thanks very much for the subscription. Yeah, so Scary Snakes, aka Crimson Vortex, is in the chat with me.
Okay. Yeah, so down this much time, yeah, we don't want to allow bishop takes g3. Like with the pieces Kingswitcher currently has in hand, like he should be safe, but you never know what's going to come down this much time. So here's zdybu has a very powerful attack. So rezacz's only job in life is to survive and stay up time. I'm sorry, or make up time because he's currently down a lot. So rezacz should definitely be moving here.
So as far as time is concerned, the Kingswitcher team are like one of the best teams out there as far as managing the clock. So Crimson Vortex has criticized some teams in past games because they weren't using their clock effectively and weren't sitting when they should. I think the Kingswitchers are going to put up a clinic on using the clock. So I think rezacz is going to play better moves in general, but it's really tough to win when your opponents are always up 10 seconds and when they use that time effectively.
Yeah, for sure. That being said, though, like I will expect a lot of games to come down to the second board where Return of the Lagger is going to end up being attacked, and like I don't trust him to defend very accurately. So like he is going to be dependent on time to defend some of these positions.
Yeah, I mean, Return of the Lagger, he's no slouch. He's like 2300 for a reason, and he's also a national master. So he does have that chess ability, and he has the ability to bullet out some fast moves in endgames.
Oh yeah. It's like my saying I don't trust him to defend accurately isn't me saying like I think he's bad. I just like I don't think that's his strength when it comes to Bughouse, and I think that Clockingswitcher is like the real driving force of this team.
Clockingswitcher, my impression of him is he's kind of a defense specialist where he gets his opponents to attack him, and then they're always like one pawn away from beating him, which is something that Horko used to do on the FreeNet chess server. He was known like it was so irritating to play against Horko because you'd think you have this great attack, you're always one pawn short, and then you're down time, and then he just crushes you.
Uh, yeah, I think King Switch actually has a very similar style to how I play. He's just like much better at doing it. Where we also play very similar lines. Like he's accepting all these sacrifices and he's accepting them quickly and basically daring his opponents to mate them, because if they don't, then he's just up material on his board. But yeah, him being really strong and fast at defending, combined with him also being a very good chess player, like really benefits his ability to play this style. Okay, so here's zdybu wants to knight because he'd like to go queen takes g4, queen takes g5, and then knight h3. But yeah, now they've had to move, and yeah, now his position's not great because they have to play queen c5.
So rezacz would love a queen, obviously, because you'd have mate into with a queen with rook takes h7, but it's just never going to come.
Yeah, yeah, and also zdybu is just going to be chess now. So bishop mates, can we hold that? No. I guess. Wait, no.
So now a rook mates.
No, we can have it.
So Return of the Lagger never has to move.
And I suspect he never will. So like,
I think he'll move if he gets a bishop. Otherwise, he will not move.
Okay, so I guess we go knight at g3, and then how do we force the bishop here as king switcher?
I don't think king switcher doesn't have to force the bishop. He can just go for mate. So they're playing for like wins on both boards, which gives them a lot of flexibility.
Knight at g3, like you're not mating me though, right? Like knight at g3, like you can take and I just take, and you're like you.
Knight he could play queen takes knight at least, threatening a queen trade. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's forcing bishop actually, because like the queen is scared to the bishop, and if we block with the knight on e3, then there was bishop takes knight. The other one I was looking at was like knight a5 actually like took away all of the scores for the bishop on c4, and I think that also forced a bishop. But a very strong showing so far for the king switcher team.
There were many people in the Discord who said they thought the result would be something like 9-5 favoring the rezacz team, and we're starting off 2-0 favoring the Lagger team.
Yeah. While I didn't put in the Discord, like I definitely believe that the rezacz team would win this match going in. Yeah, if you ask me right now, it's like 50-50 to me. Like if you put a gun to my head, like probably I would take the king switcher team because they're up 2-0, but it seems incredibly plausible that the rezacz team could come back.
Rezacz has a good attack this time though. Finally, he can move his queen in. Just queen h5. Why wouldn't he play queen h5? Get the queen in play. Now he can't do it with tempo.
Well, this transposes though, because like queen h5, king f8, you're probably still going knight e6. So knight h7 and then knight takes f6 here.
Yeah, that looks pretty devastating.
It's not quite mate. We need another knight to mate.
Another knight or a rook would be good.
Rook at h. Yeah, rook at h8 or rook at g7.
And he also could do a draw if his partner ever got in trouble.
That was a big mistake by zdybu. So he goes b6 here, trying to force the knight, but very nice recognition by Return of the Lagger. He takes on e7, and the idea is we can't take this knight as zdybu because knight at b6 is checkmate in one move. Yeah,
They've
and
taken the
because of
draw.
that, rezacz has decided to go for the draw, which I think he had to do. That's a huge error by zdybu. Like I think he needs to go pawn at b6 instead of pushing the pawn to b6.
So you're calling him Zibby Dibby? Okay. I'll keep that in mind for that.
I don't know why, that's just always what I've called him.
Okay.
So technically it's longer than ZDBYU, but it's less syllables. So
What's up, Chuck?
Hey, yeah, we got Swole 19 in the chat now. And we got Eskin in the
How's
chat.
it going, my man?
How's it going, buddy? Dude, we gotta play some Bughouse. I got 1950 back, so I'm trying to get. I gotta get to 2000. Gotta get to 2000 again.
All right, if you're trying to get to 2000, do not play with me. We're gonna go in the opposite direction, my man.
Yeah, I'm super overrated. Well, I'm less overrated than I was like 2 nights ago, but I like eked up to 2375, and then I lost a few points down to like 2350. So I'm still overrated.
I'm just saying. That skin was 2600 before he started playing with me.
Well, what's he now? Like a solid 2000?
Right now, he is not 2600. is his current rating. Okay, yeah. So rezacz has a very strong attack here, and yeah, he's making a good strategic decision. So he's not sitting for pieces to like mate with check, even though they were up time. He just goes queen takes on c5. His attack's continuing, and his vision's still really good. Yeah, we sit for pawn at d6 or pawn at d6. Yeah, I think that's the way they need to be playing these matches because they're going to get good positions, and they need to really try and like use that check mentality of trying to find moves instead of having to sit for pieces. Yeah, and rezacz has done a really nice job of that this game.
So are both teams in voice chat?
Yes.
We believe so, because we haven't seen them talk in the chess.com chat.
Okay.
So the current score is 2.5 to 0.5, with a score of 9 being needed to complete them or to clinch the match, and you needing to win by 2 points. Yeah, rezacz has got to move here. Because we're getting to a point where position isn't going to matter, and yeah, like now it's just going to get flagged. I don't think there's going to be enough time for him to make Clockingswitcher, which means I think he's just going to lose on time.
Yeah, and flags are the bread and butter of the Kingswitcher team.
Yeah, like rezacz had a really nice position, and I agree. Like it would have been like crushing if he got pieces, but like he had to continue playing Bughouse because now they're not playing Bughouse. They're playing Hyperbullet, and he's going to lose every time.
So thanks very much to the raid from Chess Warriors as a Kid, who also streams Bughouse. The score is now 3.5 to 1/2, favoring the Kingswitcher Return of the Lagger team. Hope your stream went well, Chess Warriors as a Kid. I saw you were playing some Bughouse there.
I feel like the Bughouse World Championships, like sometimes I feel like 9, like 1st to 9 is kind of like a little short. You know what I mean?
Well, we have some of the organizers in here, so maybe you can tell us about the later rounds. But my understanding was that when we get to like the round robin and the finals, there's going to be more games than just 9. Is that correct, or is it still just 9?
Okay. Yeah. So our main thought process was, like we don't respect Swole's opinion, so like that's the main reason why we wanted to have the matches so short.
Makes sense.
So we went back and forth with the length of the matches for a long time, and we tried to get a lot of input from the community. And of course, with these things, there's never going to be a perfect answer. At first, it was a lot shorter. It was about 10 games. So the trade-off we're deciding between is like how much variability we want there to be, because like shorter matches are going to have more variance and more of a chance for upsets. And then how much do we want to reward the actual best team? Because the longer the series,
there's another trade-off that you're neglecting, which is the degen trade-off, like people who play Bughouse 24/7 versus people who have like lives and jobs and can't play like an 8-hour series.
That's true.
Okay.
I'm not saying like 8 hours, but I don't know, maybe a little longer.
Okay, Clockingswitcher has a mate
90.
here.
Yep, 2 pawns.
Oh no. ZBW has made like so he allowed Queen takes H2.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Return of the Lagger is up time.
Yeah.
Okay.
ZBW was
Chuck,
so
he didn't
playing
move
this.
his existing pawn. Oh man.
Oh, that wouldn't have been made in 1 actually, because then we could take the bishop on G4. Otherwise, I'm sure he would have moved his existing pawn. He knows Chuck is watching.
So the score now is 3.5 to 1.5, favoring the Kingswitcher Return of the Lagger. Because there was an abort the first game, which doesn't count.
Yeah, I like the idea of the player on the lower board. Yeah, like playing aggressive moves like H4 from Return of the Lagger here. I think both of these players are weaker when it comes to defending. So I think there's a lot of value to be gained from attacking the players on this board. So bishop at E3 is a nice defensive resource for Return of the Lagger. Also, that's an instructive point for everyone watching. So when you're defending, a key idea is to defend the square that your king is currently on. So the idea being, if they check you, like right here, we defended F2. After they check me, we move the king. And now they cannot place a new piece on F2, the square that my king used to be, because I'm defending that square. And here we see this again from Return of the Lagger. Knight F4 defends the square that the king is on. So even if we get checked, they cannot place a new piece on the square that we got checked from.
Yeah, and the knight also defends G2, which was going to be an empty square after pawn takes. And it attacks and defends. Centralized knights are quite good in general for chess.
Ooh, I don't like that decision from Return of the Lagger. So we had a position there where he could have like kept placing a pawn on G2 to defend F3, and at this stage in the match, you have to assume that ties are good for the Clockingswitcher rezacz team, because it's going to give
the Clockingswitcher rezacz
team Clockingswitcher Return of the Lagger team, because that's going to give their opponents less time to come back. Yeah, Chuck, I don't know how you're able to stream so consistently and remain coherent. Like, I'm only with you for like 45 minutes at a time, and like 20% of that time I sound like an absolute
the
moron,
secret is whenever I'm not streaming, I just go into hibernation. Like, I sleep like 21 hours a day, and I sleep the other 3 hours, so I'm well rested.
I like it.
Is this a connection? Why is ZBW not moving? What's happening?
It's a great question. The Polish guys probably have worse internet connections than the New York City guys.
Yeah, I have to imagine. So it says that they have 4 bars, but like that has to be an internet thing, because it's not even like he had an impossible position to play. Like, he had initiative and he was attacking that. That's an unfortunate way for the game to be decided.
Yeah, I mean, I think bishop takes bishop is a clear move there.
Oh no, rezacz is just made on his board, so they were.
Oh yeah. I mean that's true too, but I don't know if they were up time when he started sit-in. I wasn't paying that much attention because your commentary was too good.
That's what it was.
Chess for the Kid asks, which team is winning? The Return of the Lagger and Clockingswitcher have 4.5. rezacz and zdybu have 1.5. rezacz is complaining now. He says, "Why am I always white?" It's like, I don't know, reverse racism there.
It's like, I'm tired of these systemic advantages that have been afforded to me. It's not fair.
No, but in all honesty, like, I often prefer playing black because, like, in chess, if you're white, then you're just like a move ahead, the whole time. But if you're black, that means your partner is white. So if you're not much of an attacker, then your partner being white, you can think, well, they're probably going to have a better game and they're going to attack, and that makes things better for you in general.
I think also
yeah,
in chess and Bughouse, I feel like when you're black, you have like more of like you can kind of guide where the opening goes.
Wait, did they just aborted another game? What happened there?
Yeah, so I think they're trying to set it so that Rezex and zdybu. So Rezex is black on his board. Yeah, unfortunately, we just don't have control over that on the site because
Yeah.
chess.com is so well programmed. But this is another match where that plays a huge role because the two players on the top board are very defensive, as you said. They're specialists at accepting sacrifices and staying solid and feeding their partners. So they're going to benefit from their partner being able to attack in their position.
Okay. Rezex is black, which he is apparently happy about.
Yeah, so Rezex also plays this e4, e5 line. Yeah, probably like we're probably looking at the two best defenders in these e4, e5 positions between Rezex and Clockingswitcher. Okay, why did Clockingswitcher just give up a free pawn? I feel like we didn't have to do that. Yeah. See, this is why you can't say nice things about people because then they go around and they call you a liar like this. Like,
Is he waiting for like pawn at g6? Oh, maybe not.
I don't.
But
know,
Finaxin
but
says in the chat the Bughouse World Championship needs style points. I tend to agree.
I agree with that for sure. I'm all about style.
Like, I mean, honestly, a tournament could change the win conditions if they wanted. Like, didn't have to rely on the server wins. For example, we're not counting the games that are aborted, even though they show up in the points that are listed. So you could always decide that a touchdown is a win condition, which I think should be the case.
Oh, Rezex just made himself.
I would like that.
Yeah, so this is mate in one. If he goes right, it's rook in. If he goes left, it's rook here.
Time, but yeah, zdybu's not beating the national master in this chess position. I mean, he's up a queen. It's actually completely winning. I don't believe that there's enough time with 0 piece drops for him to do this against such a fast player.
It is a tough position, though. I mean, he's got to drop a rook to prevent queen in.
Oh, I just realized, yeah, we can't take this knight. Okay, maybe this is harder than I thought. So is rook at f8 is almost forced here. I guess alternatively you could go rook at e8 just to try and eliminate this pawn, and rook at e8 might actually be the correct decision because rook at f8 we take the knight and then you have no king moves in returning. Okay, so he's just going to allow the promotion here. Yeah, but zdybu has to pre-move all here.
And it's also instructive that we saw Return of the Lagger sat for a while to figure out a plan before he blitzed out a bunch of moves.
I think that was a big mistake. I would have pre-moved pawn to d5 there because you want to prevent the king from running here because now it's going to take too long to mate him. Like the king ran to the queen side and it's obviously very tough there for zdybu because he can't stop to think. But I think that was a key find. We need to stop the king from running.
That was great defense from Return of the Lagger. Like it looked pretty grim there for a while.
Oh yeah, and that's a nice situation because their Rezex can't move. So as Chuck was saying, they have all the time to think through their decisions. So he could even get input from his partner, and they could work together to find what's the best line to live. And they found they did a really nice job there. Like I don't even think that zdybu and Rezex are playing bad this game. Like I think this is just a really strong showing from the laggers.
Yeah, I agree with you on all those points. And JDB is saying that Rezex slipped.
Oh, yikes. Okay, queen at h1 here for zdybu. How does that affect our partner? Queen. Yeah, his queen should be safe for him. So he'd like to sit for pawn at h2 instead of queen at h1. Okay, knight d4. This is more aggressive. I like this.
He just takes the
rook. Yeah, I don't know because I don't know that the material is helping us that much. Oh, rook at d8. What a nice idea.
That was a nice find. Yeah, and now Return of the Lagger gets a massive attack here.
This is just mating.
Yeah, but he wants to be careful not to give Rezex mating material.
Okay, so let's go bishop at f6, king takes, queen at h8, and then after you block, we've cut off the rook, and then we have bishop g5 to mate. I'm sorry, queen at h6. We might be sure. So bishop at f6, king takes, queen at h6. You cannot block because we have bishop g5 mate, so you have to go back to e7. Bishop at f6, king e8. Then I think we would need a. What would we need to make? We would need a rook to mate there.
Why would
still.
I don't know. I would just play bishop at f6, king takes, move your existing bishop to g5, rook takes, pawn takes, and then you're free to put your queen at f6.
Yeah, that's probably cleaner. I was getting a little too fancy with my.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to use these existing pieces, even though this bishop, this c1 bishop is not a resource because it's pinned. The d2 bishop is still a resource.
Okay, so we have to take this.
Yep, Chucky's going.
Okay, so they like your line.
Yep.
Yeah, and this is
Just made. Yeah,
Yes,
97. Nice.
6.5, 1.5.
Good stuff, Chuck. Chuck, you should have played in this.
I would have lost in round one for sure. I mean, obviously it depends who my partner is. If I
Any
get
partner you would have, you'd carry and you'd win.
I did not carry. I would carry if they would let me slide into the under 2000 section. Then maybe I have good chances. So honestly, that was my strategy. So the Berlin tournament, basically, the format of the Berlin tournament is they have like they have a Swiss, and then after the Swiss, the top 8 teams from the Swiss progress to like a ladder system, and all the other teams that were eliminated from the top bracket, they go to a B tournament, which is a round robin. And the strategy that I used effectively was to get eliminated and go to the losers bracket and crush it. And I have 2 losers bracket wins and 2 losers bracket second places. And I've won 4th place finish in the main tournament. But yeah, I mean, the losers bracket, that's my home.
Rezacz and zdybu look pretty good.
They do, and Rezacz and zdybu, by the way, have played in the Berlin tournament, and they have finished. They finished second for sure. I think they may have won it one year, but usually they're in the top 4 teams. Oh, Grind is saying that his match is scheduled. I guess today at 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'm not going to be able to cover that match, unfortunately, but hopefully someone's able to stream it.
Chuck, you're really sucking. Like I feel.
Yeah, sorry about that. I do expect it to be like a blowout though. So.
Wow, you really think that Clocking is that bad? I'll tell him how you feel.
Ryusi says they won it twice. Oh, okay, we got a fact checker in the chat.
Okay, so this is a nice game from zdybu. Okay, Rezacz, I think we just go queen g2 here. I don't like queen g3. Knight's coming. Like queen takes.
Yeah.
Bishop b1. So this is still mating, but yeah, we didn't have to allow this because now he's defending without the queen. Okay. Yeah, so the reason I like queen g2 is because I wanted to defend with my queen still on the board. Although they were uptime by the time they went for this sign, so I guess it's still fine.
So the score right now is 6.5 to 2.5. Favor and Clockingswitcher and Return of the Lagger. I don't like this opening that Return of the Lagger is playing. I feel like the king is very unsafe on f2 there, but
we're just up at piece, all right?
Yeah, I mean it's working for now, but it's usually they win the piece back.
Chuck, you're a materialist. You should.
I am a materialist. Yeah.
You should support this opening.
I'm not a believer in this particular form of trading.
Oh, come on.
I think in general this line is fine. I just maybe for this particular match I wouldn't allow this because like if we get like a boring position, I think zdybu is not going to be very happy and just eventually the uptime will kill them. Though again here like Return of the Lagger has a very nice position.
Clockingswitcher moved his bishop back, going for this pawn maybe. Oh, he didn't take the pawn. I see free pawn. Oh, finally he takes the pawn. Thank you. This is another pawn. Look at
The
this
king of
pawn.
two here.
Look at the pawn on A2. There, he's got it. Yes. My man.
So important here, yeah, we need to like play actively as zdybu because the
Ooh, pawn is crushing.
okay,
King
there's
Switcher is
downtime.
sitting. King Switcher recognizes the danger. And this is where communication is key.
Yeah, we have some options here.
I think he's... Oh, I would have slid there. And then if queen in, he could go to f2.
Yeah, but the fact remains that they can't sit this down. So now zdybu is going to have to defend, because if you play some move like knight takes d3, the threat for white isn't bishop takes queen on d8.
Yeah, it's
The
pawn
threat
check.
is pawn at e7. Yeah, and then we're winning the queen with check, and then we're just mating with a queen in hand. But the problem is this is not an easy move to defend, because like if you just move the queen, then pawn at e7 anyways, and then you have to take with the queen. But if you play a move like rook c7 to cover the e7 square, then we just take the queen and we have all the same threats. I mean, oh, why did you go king
Ooh, I
f7?
don't like king takes.
Okay, I think he's still safe here. Knight at c5, king c8.
Oh, that's mate. zdybu has
That's-
mate with that knight, I think. Oh, he needs a
Ooh,
bishop
that
to
was
mate, or
No,
knight
yeah,
takes?
that was a mistake.
What's going on?
I think he still lives, unless a knight comes.
No. Bishop at g2 is just like a game-losing error, because if we went pawn at g2, we preserve the bishop in hand for bishop at f2 later.
No, I agree. I'm saying Return the Lagger is safe. I don't know why he's not
yeah,
moving.
no, I agree. Like we need knight. This is just like flag. Yep.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, so that we can't criticize zdybu that much here, because finding mates quickly and accurately is incredibly difficult, and this is one of the things that separates the best players in the game, especially when you add the fact that it's a time scramble. Like it's like no one's going to have time to calculate that line and see that you need the bishop at f2 later, and unless you're just like one of the world-class players. So
I do agree in general, but something that people should do for an exercise in general is to try to mate with as few pieces as possible. And then you learn how to preserve your resources for later. For example, you learn that if you can drop a pawn on the board or move a pawn, if you can bring your bishop back into the game, then you can preserve pieces for later. So it is something that can be learned in general to preserve pieces to make mating easier.
Yeah, that's a good way to train your intuition there as well, because when you're having to move almost instantly, like you're going to rely on intuition. So what's interesting there is, like, I think intuitively most players would have started with a pawn on g2, just because generally you want a pawn on the second rank, because you threaten some sort of promotion ideas. Now, a reason why he might have gone for the bishop intuitively is because, like, sometimes when you have a bishop, you want to place a new bishop to protect the old one. But in that position, his bishop on f3 was actually already protected, so that wasn't necessary. But yeah, in summation, like checkmating is hard, and bughouse is hard.
So Reman12 asks who's in the voice chat. The main person speaking is Crimson Vortex. We also have Swole19, and we have a few other people who aren't talking very much. So we have Muted, we have Raven, we have Eskin, Just Sit, Phil TR, and Naveen.
Yeah, so I'm actually an attention hog, so I paid them not to say anything.
Gloria's defense pinged you, Chuck, by the way, if you didn't see it.
He
Ritos,
pinged
did
me?
you not get my check?
Okay.
Why are you talking right now?
Oh, yeah. So he's asking if they get an interview if they win, and of course they do. They also get an interview if they lose. We will interview anyone.
Yes, Chuck's not paying me, so Scary Snakes is preparing me to not talk.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It also is
Whoa, and this is a great example of how he got another queen into play. And now there's just a pawn mates, because he can get the other queen in.
Does Return of the Lagger have a mate threat? Like, can we just go queen b2 here? Queen from a3 to b2. My idea is if you go knight f6, like I was just gonna sidestep and we're safe. Yeah, because like even in this position, like we're safe. So we could have gotten like a similar position just with a queen on b2, and then we have more threats.
Yeah, well, you said Return of the Lagger. That was a zibby-dibby threat, not a Return of the Lagger threat.
Oh well, yeah. So I was saying zibby-dibby would have threats with the queen on b2, but
Okay.
the reason we didn't have to defend was because knight f6 isn't a threat for a
Yeah.
Return of the Lagger. I think his king is just safe after this. Like the weakness from bringing the queen to b2 would be that the e7 square wasn't covered, but we still had this knight protecting it, even if the queen wasn't on a3 here. But again, here, like I think zibby-dibby like has to mate in this position, otherwise they're gonna lose on time.
Yeah, Kingswitcher has mate.
Oh
and
wait,
so
yeah, never mind, I lied. The game is over.
yeah. Queen takes b6, pre-moved.
Wow. Really nice.
Is that over?
Yeah, they need
8.5,
half
right?
more to clinch the match. Yes.
You guys tripping? LOL. Play again.
As a member of the Bughouse World Championship Committee, I can confirm they are in fact tripping. So
You need 9, son.
Yeah, that's actually exactly how we have it written.
Oh man, Chuck, why don't you talk like that, like not in chat? Talk like that in real life.
I've met Chuck in person. He's actually like incredibly gangster. Like
I'm sure he is. I was gonna hang out with Chuck in real life, but then COVID hit. Sucks.
Yeah, so if you come to our World Open, you'll probably get to see Crimson too.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Zach's in the call.
In this call?
Yeah.
Oh, is he listening to our commentary?
Oh, he left.
Okay. Yeah, I think he popped in for the interview, not realizing he needed to play like one more game.
Oh, all I'm saying is they better not get washed. Oh, that would be a bad look.
Oh, free knight.
It's a lot of free stuff.
zibby-dibby seems determined to get that interview for the Clockingswitchers, so. Yeah, I like pawn at f7 here to deflect the bishop away from the queen.
zibby-dibby is up. Whoa, what was that? Zibby-dibby was up time. A knight plus a rook mates. Oh, that was a misuse.
In that position. Yeah. Oh, that was a lot of time though. They definitely should have sat for it.
Yeah, that was 10 seconds.
Has to say. Yeah, but the problem now is like, yeah, like the problem now is this knight on f7 gets in the way of our mating attack.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think they have a main attack anymore. Oh, but yeah, now they get an extra tempo. No, I would have moved the f7 knight. He's got to get that out of the way.
Yeah, you're right, because pawn at g4 didn't have a mate threat behind it. Like, you're threatening to take my bishop, but who cares if I'm threatening mate?
Wait, was that missed mate?
What? Yeah, that was rook at g1.
Rook at g1.
No, the knight was covering f2.
Oh, the knight was covering. Okay, well, now he has it.
Yeah.
Wow. Jeez. Tough.
Yeah.
So that's GG's. The score is 9.5 to 2.5. Not many people predicted that result.
No.
I think literally no one predicted the result to be that lopsided in their favor. Like, shout out to QuickDash for believing they would win the match beforehand. But if I told QuickDash, hey, 9.5, 2.5, he would have said, stop smoking whatever you're smoking. It is too powerful. Hey, congratulations, man. Well played.
Hey, Zach, are you saying stuff? Because we don't hear you right now.
Yeah, I think he only responds to sentences that end in the word son.
Oh, okay. He is deafened and muted.
I mean, I wouldn't want to hear us.
Oh, but we have Glorious Defense in here, too. Glorious Defense, can you hear us?
Hey, how's it going?
Okay. They were very
Wait,
eager
one
to be
match?
interviewed, but they're not so eager to say something.
Hey, they said they're too big time for us.
I
They can't be
think they
associated
want
with
us to
anymore.
run the questions through their lawyers, and then I'll be like, my client would like to tell you.
Oh, Zach is talking.
Oh, Zach is
I'm
fixing his
my
mic. Okay. Oh, wow. So they weren't even using microphones that whole time. I guess they were communicating with telepathy.
They can just look at each other's boards and.
I mean, we'll have to ask them. It's honestly possible they might be like just in the same
possible.
room right now because they are friends. They do live nearby.
That's pretty cool. Chuck, we gotta play some like Bug House with like right next to each other and we're just talking.
I've done that before. I had a stream where I was partnered to I think Al Qaeda, who is now I'm trying to remember his fixed name. I don't remember off the top of my head, but you know.
Okay.
Oh, hey, well, we can hear you.
Hey, Chuck. No one beats the Kings.
No one, clearly.
I saw all
Hey.
those 9-5, 9-6 predictions against us, and I knew they were so wrong.
And did those
Oh.
predictions? Did they just fuel you and make you want to win
Yeah.
even more?
Yep.
Oh, in that case, yo, send me a thank you because I did not believe in you at all.
Thank
you are welcome.
Thank you, son. Far too kind.
So did
yeah,
you study your opponents, like their openings and their styles? Oh, did you come into this blind, or did you prepare
Well,
for your
not
particular opponents?
Not completely blind. But like, we didn't really prepare for them. We just saw that zdybu likes to sax it, and rezacz is a strong chess player. We figured that as long as Clockingswitcher plays safe, rezacz isn't really going to attack. But then, you could either take of zdybu's pieces of time, or you could sax it on him. And that was working, so we stuck to the whole match.
Yeah, that seems like a solid match strategy.
Thank you. Wow, so many
So-
compliments coming out of you today.
So we're all thinking that you all did just play incredibly well. Like we weren't, like none of us thought that the other team just was incredibly out of form. Like you guys really won that match. Were you guys even surprised with how lopsided the result is? Obviously, I know you were confident and you were expecting to win. But yeah, like what were you guys thinking as you guys were just consistently getting better positions every game?
Well, actually, we expected the first few games to be tougher. But then I think there was a few. Actually, I don't know what went wrong because I think that I don't know what the strategy was, but I think it just never worked in the beginning. And then by the end, I think they were just. I think both of them were just visibly tilted, and then by that point, we knew we were just gonna win a landslide. Like after the first 4 games.
So when you guys resigned 2 games on move 1, was that so that they would be lulled into a sense of complacency whenever they looked at the score and not realize how down they were?
No, we actually didn't resign. What happened was the first challenge they sent us was a 3-0, which is the wrong time control, so we aborted to.
Right. No, but when you aborted, that like factored into the match score at like as you see it on chess.com, not the real match score for the tournament. But like it looks to us like it's 9.5 to 4.5 when we look at the score on chess.com, and it was actually 9.5 to 2.5.
That is correct, Chuck. You see, what we wanted to do was, we wanted to draw them into a false sense of, that they'll have an easy time. But I mean, knowing us, we're not going to give them no easy time, right?
Of course.
Were you guys worried because I guess what percentage of your skill do you think is finding good moves, and what percentage of your skill do you think is trash talking? In other words, these guys are Polish. They don't speak very good English, so they were kind of immune from your trash talking. So it was harder to utilize that advantage in this particular matchup.
Well, Chuck, I mean, all I'm going to say is our trash talking and our raw skill, they're both so much that I don't think anyone can stop us. That's all.
Of course not.
Hello.
Of course not. We're gonna get into the finals, and we're gonna put chicken or toasty on the pavement.
So, but before you put Chicken and 12 on the pavement, you're gonna have to go through Caspi Israel and Pure Essence. Have you
Yeah,
looked
so
into their
Caspi
game?
Israel Pure Essence? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You think they're gonna stop us? Look, people had zdybu and rezacz making it to the playoffs. They didn't even have us going this. They didn't have us winning this match.
Well, that's another good question. So, apparently, people were able to make predictions on this website with the ladder, and there's people who filled out like their little prediction brackets. So, was part of your strategy to have like the win-in prediction bracket by being the only ones to select the Lagger team to go all the way?
Oh yeah, let me talk about
I knew everybody was out.
Let me talk about the predictions for a second. So you know how on the ladder there's a seed that's based on your peak rating and your current rating, and they average that out?
Yeah.
So I think that's what most people didn't consider. Like they only look at the seedings, in which case we're the 10th seed, so they don't have us very high there. But more importantly, you see 10 in base 2, that is 2. And I think that is quite correct. I think we're the 2nd seed.
We're the real seed. That's all we're gonna say.
Yeah. I mean, maybe Chicken or Protein has a chance on a good day, but you know.
So what you're saying is, if you beat the number 2 seed, then you're like the real contender here.
Of course.
Of
Well,
course.
I think we're the number 2 seed. They're a knockoff version.
Okay.
I'm loving this interview. This is great.
I mean, just look at Pure Saxon. Do you think he's a match for us?
Oh, my man's heard that deep in his. So I don't know where he is, but I know he felt that trash talk right now.
So my understanding is, have you guys teamed up to play Chicken and 12 before? I know Kingswitcher's been in some matchups against Chicken and 12. Have you been in matchups with Return of the Lagger before against them?
Well, not Return of the Lagger, but you see, I used to have a few accounts. For example, not Kingswitcher and the Glorious Defense, and you had them banned, Chuck.
Yeah, well, we'll edit that out in post, so it's okay. You can talk about your past accounts.
Well, yeah, we did play them about 2 years ago, and they beat us pretty badly.
No, but that was before you reached your final form. Like that.
Yeah, I mean, we let them win those games.
Yeah.
I mean,
Playing the long game. Okay, so in that case, I have a question for both of you. Actually, how big is your brain?
Well, I don't think we can measure that.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, so not gonna
Yeah, we don't want to cause any trouble or controversy.
Yeah.
all right, now I have a very serious question, and I only want to hear the Kingswitchers answer this. Why did the chicken cross the road?
No.
We get put on the pavement.
That is what I figured.
Okay. I have one actual question from the match. So there was one game that sort of stood out to us while we were watching. I don't know if you remember, but I believe Zach had mate on his board, and then Return of the Lagger, you actually had to defend the position for about 10 seconds, or you were down a queen and there was a pawn F7 that was
Oh
about
yeah, I
to
remember
promote.
that.
I remember that.
Yeah,
game.
we were really impressed with the line that you guys found to survive that position. So can you walk us through what was going on there? Like how you found this resource? Like how confident were you that you're going to be able to survive this? Because that was looking kind of rough.
Yeah, I can. So we were discussing this while we were sitting, and so Return to Lagger. Yeah, he was in big trouble. The pawn was about to promote. So I can pull up the game right now. Yeah, we were discussing this while we were sitting, so we were able to come up with something good. Yeah, so we decided we played rook at e8, right? If I remember.
Yeah, after he promoted. Yeah, after you promoted, you played rook at e8.
Yeah. So we figured that if we played anything else, he would just promote and we'd be in big trouble. So we decided that since we know zdybu isn't really known as a chess player. So we knew he wasn't gonna if he didn't find mate within like 5 seconds, he wasn't gonna find mate at all.
Oh god.
We just decide, all right, if we make up the first 5 seconds, chances are he's gonna crumble under the pressure, and we'll be able to survive. And that's exactly how we did it.
Yeah.
So
I remember he also anti-pre-moved himself, like in that game. Like I don't remember exactly what, but like I remember that he was hanging something. So after queen promotes rook e8, he couldn't move his queen away. He had to take the rook, something like that. But like he was, and then there was one point where he played, I think, queen g7, and then we played rook d8. Like I don't remember the exact position, but like I remember the position was like completely winning in chess, and he managed to pre-move and then not win f7, and then afterwards the king runs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that makes it tough. But also, like that's just a testament to your defense, though, because it's harder to find these moves quickly when you're finding a line that doesn't just melt. Because a lot of players would have just exploded in that position trying to defend. So really, really nice job, guys. Like that was very resourceful.
That's why they're not the clocking switchers.
So I have sort of a background question about you guys. Are either of you math majors?
Oh, we're engineering majors.
We're engineering majors.
Okay, that explains it, because there was a point at the match where there seemed to be some confusion about whether 8.5 was greater than or less than 9, and you guys initially came up with an incorrect answer on that one, but we're able to figure things out later.
Well, let's just say that one of us forgot that we had to win by 2.
I mean, winning by 2 was not the problem. Your opponents were at 2.5.
I love how confident that 2 and 2 is like.
Let's just say you guys might not want to drive on the bridges they build in the future.
Oh man, I'm definitely avoiding them.
Oh, where y'all live? New York? Okay, all right. I know where not to go. I need to go like right now, or I'm never going.
New York has the best pavements.
Yeah, right now.
Concrete.
I'm sure you are going to try and change that. So.
If you guys ever want to get a nice smackdown on the bugouts board, like, please come to New York.
We'll be happy if you want to get a nice smackdown into the East River, also come to New York.
Of course.
So I have played Bughouse with the King-Switchers in person, and it was a lot of fun. And as soon as COVID is over, I'm hoping to do that again. And we also have some other players in New York City. Hopefully we can rope them in. Like when I played with the King-Switchers, we didn't get to contact like Kren or J-Kid or any of them, but nice to have them there too.
Yep, it was tons of fun. And we hope to do it again soon, because playing with you, Chuck, is a whole different experience than playing with you online. I can tell you that.
Yeah, Chuck pre-moved in real life. When you're streaming, I never pre-move.
So, any more questions for the Lagger team?
No, I just want to congratulate them again on the match, and thank you guys for coming in. You guys were.
I should shout you guys out because you guys stream as well. Now I need to remember your handle. I think it's like Lagger in the ring or something like that.
Laggers of the ring.
Laggers of the ring. Okay. Yeah, let me shout you guys out because
that was the fun to spectate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Laggers of the ring. I can't tell whether I'm more impressed with your English or your math, but it's very close.
I think that's how Fix Lagger spells it, right?
Oh, well, that's the golden standard of quality English. So,
so actually, guys, we have managed to go until about 3 p.m. and we do have another match coming up here. So let's
Chicken and Trophy or future ops.
Yeah, so let's kind of get ready for that match a little bit, and let's talk about the schedule here, which I think only has. Well, the schedule might have been updated because I heard that Grind and Plotkin had scheduled their match. I don't see that listed on the schedule, but okay, 3 p.m. we're supposed to have Chicken and 12-teen versus Charkvas and Daily. And let's see, are they online? 12-teen is online. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream and start another stream real quick to prep for that. And you all can stay on the call and keep talking.
I would love to
Okay.
try stock chicken.
Lol.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. So I'm gonna end the stream and start it again. Here we go.